came here in 2003, we had already been involved in shul communities in different areas, and certainly as children we saw our parents involved in shuls and in schools, and we knew that at some point we would be involved. I think at the beginning we decided to catch our breath a little bit and take a break, but of course it didn't take long before we became involved, before somebody called upon us, or before we stuck our nose in a little bit. We were very honored when Simone was called and asked to be Women's League president, which was a few years after we moved in. I truly believe that the Women's League and being president of the Women's League is the best job in the entire shul. It's an opportunity to do chesed and to help people directly on a daily basis. I, without bias, believe that Simone did quite a good job at that, and I was really very, very proud of the work that she did there.
Mark has been truly an absolute pleasure to work with, and I'm not saying that simply because I'm supposed to say that because he's being honored tonight. We spent many, many hours, days, years in the trenches together working through all kinds of small and large details of YINR, and I have always been amazed at how truly sincere he is about everything that he does as it relates to the shul and the community, about how thoughtful he is about every decision, small or large, and about the boundless energy that he brings with him into every task.
I think one of the ways that I look up to Mark and Simone in terms of their community service is they really care about community needs, even when those needs don't necessarily relate to their particular family or their particular circumstance. And when something came up in the community, if it was a need for anything in the community, that Mark felt that it's important for our shul to address it in a very calm, quiet, organized way, and his heart literally beats for the community.
I have been lucky to know her all these years and extraordinarily lucky to call her a dear friend, and I'm so happy that she's being celebrated tonight with Mark, who's also a wonderful person and a dear friend, and they're a great team, and they really are a team, and she deserves this honor beyond measure, and it's nice to know that her community recognizes these qualities in her.
Hey there, I'm Bob. Here with me are Dad and Carol.
Hey, Bob.
How you doing, Bob? On this lovely occasion, we're here to salute our old pal Mark Semer, being honored by damn Israelis in New Rochelle, where he'd been the president.
Yep. President Mark and his lovely wife, Melania.
Semer's wife is Simone.
I grew up in this city, and we were members of many different shuls, and on any given Shabbos, some of us would go to one, some of us would go to another, some of us would go to a third. We'd come to the Shabbos table and discuss and compare and contrast, which was interesting, but it also didn't make me feel that we belonged to one community, one shul. And what I love about our community is it's a one shul community, everybody knows each other, and it just feels like this stronger connection to the community and the shul.
Not only are the Semers deserving honorees, they are also amazing friends, parents, and past presidentees. We love thee for the chesed you do. It's to be admired, but even more so because you never seem to get tired.
Our parents taught us how important it is to give of ourselves, whether it's to your family, to your friends, to your community. It's always the most important thing.
So for me, being involved in the community is really a requirement in my life. My top priorities are, of course, my family and business and the work I do for my clients and for my firm. However, the third leg of the stool is community and volunteerism.
Mark has had, and Simone, many role models, in addition to Mark's parents being communal leaders in Chicago and showing him the way. Simone, of course, comes from a prominent New York City family, the Rudolphs, who are consistently and forever been involved in Jewish communal leadership and have really moved the needle in the Jewish community. and Mark often is reminding others of his father-in-law. He should rest in peace, Shelley Rudolph. And despite the fact that those shoes are probably impossible to fill, Mark has attempted in a small way to use him as a great role model and move those things that were dear to him forward in his family and community life.
My parents, they're very different people, but you know, they're both devoted to everything they do, wholeheartedly. And whether it's work, shul, or to us, you know, they always have their heart in the right place.
Mark, our pastoral president, and Simone, Women League's president, both great leaders and commander-in-chiefs, full of energy, ruach, and strong beliefs. YINR would be lost without you two. We can't thank you enough for all that you do. We love thee, Simone, for the mother you are, 3 children at home and 1 living afar. You are the rock of the family. Sorry, Mark. Simone, you keep it all together with your strength and your spark. We love you.
I can't say that.
What's a shulz? It's like a Jewish church. They say prayers.
The
prayers.
And Semer, he was in charge of these the prayers?
No, that's the rabbi's jam. Semer was like their dikka. He bossed around all the people in that shul. Carol, what's he call them that he told us not to say?
I'm gonna hold my breath now.
The schlubs.
The schlubs.
Skippy's team was a group that was put together by Mitchell Sapshon in memory of Stephen Lubusky, at the time in honor of Stephen Lubusky, to raise funds for cancer research, specifically through endurance events. And we had competed, trained for and competed in the Westchester Triathlon together 9 years ago. And since then, he and I and a small group of men in our late 40s, early 50s have continued to train for and to compete in events such as Bike for Chai, also to raise funds for charitable purposes.
Well, my mom and my dad each kind of take charge of different aspects in the family, and their differences really make the family special and really make like everything that we do possible, and it's really inspirational.
Simone, how do we love thee? Let us count the ways. We love thee for thy knowledge, kindness, and insight, as you can expertly teach and creatively write. We love thee for thy friendships that span far and wide. No generation or oceans can create a divide. Always there when one's in need, you give selflessly again and again, so all take heed.
His sincerity and his drive were really so exemplary that I think it made me better, and it made everyone working with him bring their A game to every single issue.
You know, Mark is I think a very charitable person at heart. He understands the importance of not just giving charity for important causes, and specifically, of course, for Jewish causes, but I think that he just thinks globally in terms of the importance of the Jewish community and the various different pieces and components of that. And that is part of, I think, what led him to become the president of our shul, is that same thought process, that same mentality, and that same drive.
She's bubbly and warm, but realistic about life, and laughs the hardships off, and celebrates the joys. And she's a person that brings that not just to her friends, and she's the most wonderful friend, but really to her community and everything that she does.
To you, Mark, and your lovely wife, Simone.
Simone. So, not Melania.
Got it. Okay.
We in Chicago will always be your super fans for all the accomplishments you've done in that New Rochelle.
After you abandon us.
The energy of our shul is a function of the fact that it is the center of our community, where people can get what they need from a Jewish perspective, and to be with friends, and to learn, and to pray, and to support the state of Israel, and all the important things that we do together. And that creates a tremendous energy.
One of the things that people may not know, even if you know Mark well, what you may not know about him, is that he's a deeply compassionate person. I cannot tell you how many times Mark was significantly moved by people's plights, people's situations, and he was looking for ways in order to help these people alleviate either suffering or discomfort or some way to make them feel good about an accomplishment. And this is something that he did absolutely with tremendous integrity and with sincerity. Simone and Mark both distinguished themselves in terms of their love of Israel and their Zionism, in that they allowed their oldest son Eli to make Aliyah at a very, very young age. And this certainly is the finest element in their Zionism. One thing about Simone is that everything that she does is seamless. It is smooth, without any kind of fanfare and commotion. She's efficient, she's bright, she's scholarly, and any task that she attempts to complete is completed with perfection and with elegance and with poise.
Mazal tov, Mom and Dad, on being honored at the dinner. You guys definitely deserve it for your hard work and dedication to the community of New Rochelle. I'm sorry I can't be with you guys tonight to celebrate, but I'm sure I'll see you guys very soon. I love you very much.
And we want to wish a mazel tov to Michelle and Rafi Halpert on their honor. You guys are the young leaders, so we expect to see great things for years to come from you.
Having new generation of leadership become involved was really critical. And what we're seeing right now with Rafi and Michelle and with many other families getting involved should make us all feel very comfortable that we are in a great position for many, many years to come. We're going to keep growing, we're going to keep expanding our programs and services, and we're going to create new levels of energy for everything we do.
Mazel tov! Mazel tov!
Mazel tov!
Mazel tov to Mark and Simone.
Mazel tov. No, mazel tov.
Mazel tov. 2 words. Mazel tov.
Mazel tov.
Mazel, pause, tov.
Okay. Mazel tov. That sounds weird.